Moreri Enterprises, bringing you the best in education, innovation, and technology.
And this is Teacher Aruma, and you are Sunshine Girl. Good. So Sunshine Girl will just be participating in the class. Now, this class is about English. Now, we want to make it really easy for everybody that's watching and following us. So welcome again. You are here with Teacher Aruma and Sunshine Girl. Good. So we want to focus on speech. Now, speech. What is speech? Whatever comes out of our mouth, that's speech, okay? In whatever language. Now, speech, we say the building blocks of speech are words, right? The building blocks of speech are words. And we say parts of speech, Now, let's take the one that we're going to be learning today, verbs. We're going to learn about verbs today. And now, here at the Moreri Foundation, right? Moreri is a Bantu word for teacher and also food, right? So food for the mind is knowledge, right? So now verbs. Now I want us now to take the next 5 minutes and understand everything there is, right, about verbs. Now, how many forms of verbs do we know? 8 forms? You want to revise that answer? How many forms? There are 5 forms of verbs. Now, each verbs, with the exception of the be verbs. Now, this verb is a little tricky for a lot of young students. The verb to be. The verb to be has 8 forms. Now, we'll see that be is one of the forms. And then we have am, we have is, we have are, we have was, we have were, and what else? We have been, and we have being, I-N-G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 forms of the verb to be, right? Now, why do we like to add to? Why do we say the verb to be? Why do we name the verbs with to here? Now, I would just like to say it easily, like, if you have the things like, I like to be something. Or if it is eat, you say to eat. I like to eat. I wish to eat. I want to eat. Like that, okay? Now, let's take to eat, right? Now, another one, to drink. And football, what do we do with football? We play it, right?
Yes.
To play. So let's take to eat. Let's take to drink. And let's take lastly to play. Good. So now let's see the 5 forms of these verbs. Now to eat, the first form is eat. The second one is with an S. The third is ate. A space E. Then the next is what? Eaten with E-N. And the last one is eating. I-N-G. Let's go to drink. We also have what? Drink. And the next? Drinks. Next? Drank. Next? Drunk. Excellent. I'm a good student in class today. And lastly? Drinking. I-N-G. Let's go to play. Play. Plays. Played. Played again. Excellent. This is interesting. Playing. Okay, 5 forms. Now, if I am a kid and I have this my little English notebook at home, right? Every forms of the verb. Now, with the exception of the verb to be, that has what? 8 different forms, all meaning the same thing. Right here, eat. 5 forms, all meaning the same thing. Here, to drink. 5 forms, all meaning the same thing. Here, to play. 5 forms, all meaning the same thing. So, friends, this is the exercise. If you say you know your verbs, and you really truly know your verbs, please always learn the different 5 forms of the verb. Now, this is structure, right?
Yes.
But now, these 5 forms, they all have names. or to an extent, they have usage, the way we use them, the functions, right? And the function is really key. But before we even talk about the function, please, do we now know the structure? Again, the question is, verbs in English comes in different forms. How many forms are there in total?
8.
8. All verbs in English, 8.
All verb.
If I give you any verb now, how many forms?
5.
5. With the exception of what?
To be.
To be that has what?
8.
8 forms. And now here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, 5, this is unique for all verbs in English. Again, all verbs in English with the exception of to be. How many forms? 5 forms. So that is the first part of our presentation. That we should know verbs in English comes in 5 forms. So if I'm learning my verbs and I say I truly know my verb, I should be very confident to give yourself the 5 different forms. Now, if we want to call this, if we want to give them names, it will be very tricky, all right, to give them names. What name do we call this? What name do we call this? What form of the verb? Some people say the past tense, the past form of the verb. Now this is the past participle. Now, and this is the present participle. Now this is the third person singular, and this is the infinitive, the base form. Now, base form means when you first learn about a verb, you have the base form. Now, we always use to. We say to eat. And we say this eat is the base form of the verb. And then to eat, we say this is the infinitive, okay, to eat. And the infinitive. This name is very tricky. Like, I hate fancy words, right? So the base form, we say eat, right? The base form, eat. And when you first learn a verb, you learn the base form of it. So that's the first encounter you will get with a verb if you're just learning them. And so the base forms are like this one: be, eat, drink, play, right? But now, after that, we begin to see most of them taking the S. Everything taking the S to make the second one, the past form, like ate here, was, were, ate, drink, drank, and played. And now the past participle here is been, here is eaten, here is drunk, and here is played. Now you see past form played and the past participle also played. But you see they are different, and but here is not, there's no difference here. It's the same one and the same thing. Now the only difference will come when we talk about how to use them. And what do they even mean when we use them, right? That is when you will learn the difference between this. So if we are actually repeating this, it is because one is the past form and this other one is the past participle. And this one we call it the present participle or the ing form. Being, eating, drinking, and playing. So friends, this is our first part of our presentation about verbs. All there is to know about verbs with teacher Aruma and
Sunshine Girl.
wow. Yahoo!
Yahoo!
Okay. Now, coming up, part 2, the function. How to use the 5 forms of verbs. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. Please feel free to pause the video and complete the homework. Now, 2 lists of verbs have been given. One is the base form, the other is the past tense form, and complete the 4 extra forms for each verb. And please write it down in your notebook. Please get an exercise book for our verb classes. Okay, thank you. Subscribe.